So I am here to talk about the Connecticut CARES grant. This is a grant program that should be available to nearly every business that was even open in 2019. It's geared to help businesses that have been negatively impacted by COVID. It's being administered through the Department of Economic and Community Development. And the funding is actually federal funding that is left over through the state of Connecticut received this $50 million and hadn't used it. So they have till the end of the year to use it, what that means is that this grant program, it's going to be open to applications for exactly 1 week. And after that, they're going to be working to disperse the funds as quickly as possible with an end date for disbursement of December 30th. Now, who can apply? So any businesses, most nonprofits, and self-employed and sole proprietors are eligible for this. You did need to have been in business from October 1st, 2019. You can have no more than 20 employees or no more than $1.5 million in annual payroll for 2019. And you are supposed to be able to demonstrate at least a 20% revenue loss over year, so year over year, as of September 30th, when compared to that same period last year. Now, what we don't know, because the application actually hasn't been launched yet, and I'll talk about that in a minute, I don't know exactly what documents that they are looking to be able to validate and verify this 20% revenue loss. And I don't know how much flexibility they'll have in that. So we're going to need to wait till we actually see the application to know that for sure. The other key aspects of this are you need to be in good standing from a state tax perspective. We call that a good standing with the Connecticut Department of Revenue Services. Sometimes they will ask for you to provide a document that says that. I think that instead of doing that in this case, because we have such a narrow window for applying, I think that you're going to have to sign something that says you are in good standing, and they will check in the back end to make sure that's okay. Owners of multiple businesses can apply. Any business that you have a distinct federal taxpayer ID number for can apply for the $5,000 grant. Now, what are we supposed to be using the funds for? So the categories here are very similar and look like a lot of the CARES grant support in terms of payroll, your rent or your mortgage, utilities, inventory, machinery, equipment, costs associated with insurance, ensuring that you're complying with the reopening regulations. This is, relevant for a lot of restaurants and people-focused businesses. The only caveat here is, since you'll notice if you've applied for any of the other state and federal assistance programs, that these categories are very similar. So you can't use this grant for anything in this category that you've already received grant or other incentive funding for the same time period. So what that means is if you received Paycheck Protection Plan funding that was for either an 8-week or 24-week period, you can use this grant for payroll, but it has to be for a time period that wasn't covered for the original PPP funding. And same with everything else on this category. Let's see. Okay, whoops. So from now, in terms of next steps, because we don't have the actual application yet, I think Felicia's collected the email of everybody on this, and as soon as it goes live, we'll send out an email. My group is also doing several webinars and a discrete video on walking through the application. So what we'll send out once it's live is a notice that it's live, and then we'll send out a video to walk you through it. The way to know if it's live without hearing from me, there's a link here that I've also put in the chat. So there's a lot of other information about the grant at this link. And my team is doing webinars tomorrow and on Thursday at 11 a.m. that you can sign up for on that link, which I've also put on the chat. This is my email if you want to chat, to connect or ask questions or do any follow-up once the grant becomes live. Please do reach out. And with that, I think we can open it up for questions.